Welcome back to Coins Numismatic Series, where every coin tells a story and every collector finds a treasure. If you're a passionate collector, curious beginner, or just fascinated by the history of American currency, you're in the right place. Today's episode is going to be an exciting dive into the world of the top 3 Monticello Jefferson nickel 5-cent coins, some of the most iconic and interesting nickels ever struck by the U.S. Mint. These coins are not just pieces of change, they're chapters of American history in your pocket. So grab your magnifier, and let's explore the timeless charm and value of these 3 legendary nickels. 1970 Monticello Jefferson nickel 5-cent coin with mint mark D and fine condition. The 1970 D Jefferson nickel is a piece steeped in American tradition, serving as a modest yet meaningful relic from a transformative period in U.S. history. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin bears the D mint mark to the right of Monticello on the reverse side. At first glance, the 1970 D nickel might not appear especially rare or valuable, but its appeal lies in a combination of historical significance, condition rarity, and numismatic details. 1970 marked the final full year of the tumultuous 1960s era influence on American society. The Vietnam War raged on, the civil rights movement was still shaping national dialogue, and economic and social change was accelerating. Amid all this, the U.S. Mint continued its production of the long-running Jefferson Nickels series, which had been in circulation since 1938. The design of the 1970 D Jefferson nickel remains faithful to Felix Schlag's original 1938 composition. The obverse features the stately left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, 3rd President of the United States and the primary author of the Declaration of Independence. His dignified image captures both his statesmanship and visionary intellect. A small 5-point star separates the word liberty from the date. Turning to the reverse, the coin displays Jefferson's famed Virginia estate, Monticello. The building's neoclassical dome and colonnades are rendered with a balance of symmetry and simplicity. Above Monticello is the national motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, a statement of unity in diversity. Beneath the structure are the inscriptions Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America, with the D mint mark positioned to the right of Monticello's base. The mintage of the 1970 D Jefferson nickel was substantial, with over 515 million pieces struck. Because of this high production figure, the coin is generally common in circulated condition. However, finding specimens in fine condition with strong details and no major wear is far less common than one might assume. Coins in such condition are highly sought after by collectors who appreciate high-quality examples of common-date issues. In terms of value, the 1970 D nickel in fine condition generally fetches a modest premium over face value, typically ranging from 25 cents to $1 depending on eye appeal and strike quality. In uncirculated condition, particularly at the MS65 and above levels, the coin's value can increase significantly, sometimes reaching $15 to $30, with full steps FS designated specimens bringing even more. Full steps coins, showing complete horizontal lines on the Monticello steps, are particularly prized due to their scarcity in circulation. Errors on the 1970 D nickel also spark collector interest. While not as widely known for dramatic mint errors as other dates, some known anomalies include off-center strikes, die clashes, and weak strikes that omit fine details like Jefferson's hair or Monticello's architectural elements. Such pieces, when authenticated, can command premiums far above typical prices, especially if they are preserved in decent condition. Collectors are drawn to the 1970 D not only for its availability, but for its role in completing Jefferson Nickel Day 10 mintmark sets. Because it represents a high mintage but transitional period coin, it bridges the earlier wartime and post-war nickels with the later modern issues. Its design continuity, clean surfaces when found well preserved, and historical positioning make it an essential acquisition for any Jefferson nickel enthusiast. 1999 Monticello Jefferson nickel 5-cent coin with mint mark P and good condition. The 1999 P Jefferson nickel may seem like a routine modern era coin, but it carries several notable traits that elevate its importance in the numismatic landscape. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint and marked with a P to the right of Monticello on the reverse, this coin captures the final moments of the 20th century, a century defined by technological innovation, global conflict, and American ascendancy on the world stage. As the last full year before the turn of the millennium, 1999 coins occupy a special place in the hearts of collectors. There's a certain nostalgia and symbolic weight that coins from this year carry, representing a close to a century and an era. The Jefferson nickel, unchanged in its design since its introduction in 1938, stood resilient against the backdrop of change, and the 1999p continues that visual legacy. The obverse remains unchanged from previous years, showing Jefferson in profile with "In God We Trust" on the left, Liberty, and the year 1999 to the right. The subtle detailing in Jefferson's expression and hair has a soft elegance, though this often fades with wear in circulated examples. In good condition, like many surviving specimens from this date, the coin shows significant smoothing and loss of sharp detail, but remains identifiable with all inscriptions intact. The reverse features Monticello in a more modern, high-pressure strike typical of late 20th century coins. However, due to mass production, many 1999p nickels suffer from weak strikes or planchette flaws. Above Monticello, E pluribus unum appears. Below, Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America wrap up the inscription layout. The P mint mark is clear in most examples. The total mintage of the 1999p Jefferson nickel was approximately 1.2 billion coins, an enormous figure reflecting both collector interest and general circulation needs. As such, this coin is extremely common in worn or circulated grades. However, finding them in pristine condition with full details, especially full steps, becomes significantly more difficult. Coins in good condition, like the one we're examining, typically trade for face value. Yet their collector value can increase when included as part of mint-year sets, turn-of-the-century displays, or for educational purposes. For numismatists, even the most common modern coins offer historical insights and collecting opportunities when viewed in the context of larger trends. Errors on the 1999p nickel include die chips, die deterioration, doubling, off-center strikes, and occasionally weak hubbing that affects the legibility of the inscriptions. Some examples with strong die breaks or misaligned dies fetch $10 to $50 or more, depending on severity and condition. This coin remains popular among modern collectors and those putting together late 20th century U.S. sets. Its affordability, availability, and symbolism of the end of a century give it staying power. Even in good condition, it serves as a humble but important reminder of America's continuity and change over time. 2001 Monticello Jefferson nickel 5-cent coin with mint mark P and fine condition. The 2001p Jefferson nickel represents one of the final full-year issues before a dramatic redesign of the reverse began in 2004 to celebrate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. With a mintage exceeding 860 for million coins and struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this piece is emblematic of both the entrance of traditional designs and the anticipation of change in U.S. coinage. Felix Schlag's classic design remained on the nickel until the Westward Journey series began in 2004. The 2001p, therefore, occupies a unique spot as one of the last of the classics. Collectors often appreciate these final years for their symmetry and closure. The obverse features the standard image of Thomas Jefferson in profile, accompanied by "In God We Trust" on the left, Liberty, and 2001 on the right. In fine condition, the coin retains decent detail in Jefferson's facial features and hair, though signs of circulation are apparent in the form of mild smoothing or rim wear. The reverse shows Monticello once again, with the architecture rendered in balanced lines and proportions. E pluribus unum marches above the dome, while Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America are stacked beneath. The P mint mark appears clearly to the right of the steps. In terms of value, most 2001p Jefferson nickels in fine condition remain at or slightly above face value, usually selling for around 10 cents to 50 cents depending on the surface condition and luster. Higher-grade uncirculated specimens can sell for $5 to $15 or more. Coins with full steps are harder to find due to die wear, but when located, they can bring $30 to $50, especially if slabbed by a reputable grading service. Errors and varieties are not especially prevalent in this year, but some notable examples have been documented, including off-center strikes, die clashes, and die rotation errors. While these errors are rare, they can command impressive prices, sometimes hundreds of dollars, if dramatic and in uncirculated condition. Collectors value the 2001p as part of the broader Jefferson nickel timeline. It represents the final act of the original Monticello reverse and is frequently sought by those assembling complete type sets or Jefferson nickel year runs. Though common, it is increasingly respected for its role as a transition point to the modern era. And there you have it, 3 iconic Jefferson nickels that each hold their own place in American coin history. Whether it's the solid history behind the 1970D, the Millennium Edge symbolism of the 1999P, or the end-of-an-era elegance of the 2001P, each one of these coins adds color and depth to any collection. Don't underestimate these seemingly common coins, their historical gems hiding in plain sight. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Coins Numismatic Series for more deep dives into the coins that shaped our pockets and our past. Drop a comment below letting us know which Jefferson nickel you have in your collection, or which one surprised you the most today. Until next time, keep collecting and keep discovering.